Hello and welcome back to our How to Paint series of videos. We're still working on our Deathwing Knight. This is actually part 5, I believe. I just want to go ahead and start with a quick little tip here. If I can't move around our equipment too much. Now, last time I think we did this kind of golden staff. It was a little bit too off color for me. It didn't really blend too well. So I found that just kind of what helps is going in with just a little bit of our Balthazar gold there and just doing a very light kind of wash with it over our other golden objects here. We'll kind of demonstrate with the other objects. And once this kind of dries, I might have actually done a little bit too much. It'll give us kind of a nice, more kind of rusted effect. And for the rest of this video, we're actually going to focus on two things primarily. You can see I've already kind of cleaned up our model a whole bit, just to kind of get us in better shape. I went ahead and did the belt as well with a nice shade of, if I can find it, Dryad Bark. And just to kind of finish up, we're going to be focusing on the base, and then we're going to be doing a couple of washes as well. So I figured we might as well go ahead and start with a little bit of gray sear, if I can get it on camera there. And this is going to be the primary color we use for the base. Depending on how it ends up looking, I might go back over it with something else. We'll see. But again, just getting nice thin layers. We'll get a little bit of gray sear on our brush, and we'll start to kind of liberally apply it. And actually, we want just a bit more. I went too thin, unfortunately. And I'm actually using a different tripod today, so hopefully it's not nearly as bad when I bump it. Inevitably I will. And already we're running out of paint, so we're going to go ahead and get a little bit more water and a little bit more paint on our palette here. Try to get it on camera just so you guys can kind of see what I'm working with. And just very quickly, we'll give it a nice layer. We don't want it too clean. We're not really focusing on it here. It's going to get covered in washes anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. You just don't want your paint on too thick. That's really the only focus. And make sure we get under the boots. I think I just got a desktop notification, but it was too quick for me to see. That's fine, we'll just ignore it. And as we finish up, I just want to kind of apologize for the lapse in videos. I was actually moving, so I couldn't really record any more painting videos for a hot second there, but hopefully they'll be coming back kind of on the regular. And as much as I like the 3D prints I've done, I've got a couple of these guys. I've actually got the new Combat Patrol for Dark Angels. Newest, I guess. I'm not sure how new it is. So we will be taking a look at the official models next time we do Dark Angels, which, as much as I love these guys, nothing beats the quality of GW. You know, the price tag is steep, but good lord, it is worth it. And we're kind of getting a finished product here. We might let this dry a little bit. We'll focus on another wash while we do that. And we're going to move on to the bulk of the armor here. It's going to be kind of what our focus is. And if I can find it on my desk, we're going to be using Agrax Earthshade. Now, this entire armor color scheme is kind of new to me, so this might look terrible. But that's kind of part of what this series is about, right? Not only for you guys learning tips and tricks, but also for me learning new things and trying new things. We'll get a little bit of water off of our brush there. We don't want it too thin. And let's just kind of go in, right? We'll just liberally apply this kind of everywhere. The only spot that we don't really want to get it on is the more metallic parts. I say as I put it right onto the silver. Just ignore that. I don't take my own advice. And make sure you spread this out. You don't want it pulling on any kind of flat areas. You want to push it into any recesses you can find. And we'll be careful with the staff there not to get it. The metal we'll be going over with known oil. I find it looks just a little bit better. Otherwise I would use Agrax Earthshade rather everywhere if given the choice. And it makes everything kind of look really dank and dirty, which for my Ultramarines I like them to look rather pristine, but for Dark Angels I feel like I want kind of a kind of battle-worn combat veteran vibe. And a little bit too much on the boot there. We'll see if we can't spread that out. It's rather unfortunate, but that's fine. Hopefully when it dries it looks a little bit better. It's much easier to gauge how thick and thin your paint is than it is to gauge how much you have on your brush. And that's something I'm still kind of struggling with, especially with washes. And hopefully that was in scene for the most part. I can't really tell for the most part where my actual camera is pointing unless I'm looking directly at it. It doesn't really have much of a kind of peripheral view from the way I have it set up. So apologies if I'm failing a little bit at that. And this back piece is looking a little bit too clean. Let's go ahead and fix that. We don't want to touch the face though. We will be using a different shade for the face, and hopefully it'll come out looking rather decent. And get the back of the cloak here with another pass over, just to make it sufficiently dirty. And we got the arm too. I think I missed it the first time around. Maybe. I think just the inside of the arm. There we go. This is already looking, it's kind of shiny. That's the only problem I have with washes, is they end up looking very shiny. You can use a varnish to kind of get rid of that effect a little bit. I don't think it really cures it all the way. I've tried. You're kind of always stuck with this shine for the most part. But with a nice coat of matte varnish, it does help kind of reduce that effect. And depending on how much time we have left today, and if I can actually find my varnish, we might go ahead and do that as well. But it's somewhere in a box full of paint, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to fish it out in time. And again, careful not to touch the face, but we do want to get kind of the back of this hood here, just to make sure we're properly covered. If you have any streaking grime, or even just a kind of really thin black ink, you can kind of give your guy some real nice, almost like grease oil stains. But I don't have any of that, so we're not going to do that this time. Maybe next time. Maybe we'll get some of that for the next video. And make sure we get the other leg here. Don't worry too much about the inside of the cloak. You really can't see it. You just want to get everything that's kind of visible as you turn your model around. And that's more or less, actually, I take that back. We missed kind of the front of this shoulder pad. But overall, it looks very, very dirty, very dank. And we're going to move on to the kind of next layer of, excuse me, I just scraped my lamp. Close that without peeking the microphone too much. And we're going to go back to our gray sear. We have a little bit of water already on our brush, so we don't need to thin it. And actually, we need to get more on there. And I'm glad I didn't do this step last, because I can already see where my wash was seeping down onto the gray. Again, just a very quick pass over. We're going to be using known oil on this. And not only is it going to kind of fill in the cracks and give us some definition, but it's also going to kind of cover up a lot of our effort here. So it's okay if you miss a few spots. It'll get covered one way or another. And if you want, since this is a 3D print, you can color the base. Either you can do it black, or I'm just kind of doing it gray as we go along. I'll kind of focus on it another time. Actually, probably will clean it up. You can see a lot of the bumps from the supports from where I printed it. So we won't worry about it too much in this part. but at some point, you know, if I do like a showcase kind of thing, we will clean that up. And this is already looking much better. You can really tie a model together just by finishing up the base. It really adds kind of a lot of definition you really don't expect it to. And I say that as someone who usually just uses Sterling mud. So, you know, don't take my words too highly on that, but it can help make your model look a little bit nicer. And we'll move on to our next 2 washes here. These will be our final 2 as we kind of get to the end of our series. Our face is going to be Reikland Flesh Shade. You can also use a Gulaman Flesh if you want. It's kind of a darker shade, so I prefer Reikland. And not too much water on our brush, but not too little. If you kind of do too little, you can just go over it again, and we'll get it on camera, I promise. And just go in. You don't have to be very precise about it, just a very liberal application there. And you can already tell, I don't do eyes for this reason. Your washes will kind of go into the recesses themselves and kind of give you the kind of the illusion like the eyes are hooded over, right? So you don't have to worry about doing them. It saves you a lot of trouble, at least in my experience. And while we wait for that to dry and see if it worked like we wanted it to, we'll move on to our final wash. And this is going to be used on the base as well as all of the metallic areas. And this will be Known Oil, the good old classic liquid talent. We're going to be very liberal with this. I'm not even going to thin it down. I'm just going to go right onto the base, and we're just going to spread it out kind of as much as we can before any of it dries. It's kind of hard to get perfectly in view as I try to do this. A lot of wonky angles. And go again. And then we just want to focus on the back area here, make sure we don't miss anything too badly. Try to keep our camera in focus. This tripod's not too bad. It's just at a kind of awkward angle for what I'm used to working with. So I might kind of switch back and forth between this and the other one, depending on, you know, what I'm feeling. And I feel like there's actually a little bit too much in that crack back there. And a little bit back there as well. Perfect. Now we're just going to go on with our kind of final area. And that's going to be everything metallic that we missed with the Agrax Earthshade. This gives you just a tiny bit more shine, I feel like, which is you don't want it as much on the cloak and armor, but I feel like you do kind of want it on all of the metal objects. It gives your piece kind of a little bit more realism, almost. And as carefully as we can, we'll kind of go around the edges and just do a little bit of edge highlighting with it almost. Being careful not to get it onto our, what do you want to call that, tan, I guess. Make sure you get along the top of the shield as well. I just want to take a hot second to mention I do have a Patreon. If you guys enjoy these videos and you want to see them more often, you know, I always appreciate anyone who wants to see more, and a great way to do that is by supporting me there. You don't need to, of course, it's just greatly appreciated. And we will also try very carefully just to get kind of the edges of these shoulder pads. And you can kind of see it also gives you a kind of decent shading effect while we're doing this. Known Oil is kind of classically used for shading recesses, but I also like using it just to bring out the shine as well, especially on these edges. And we're just about finished up here. I also want to kind of give us a little teaser into probably what my next project is going to be. I'm still working on gluing them together. It's being a little bit weird, but I'm working on this Primaris Dreadnought. He I have a slight problem with him, and I don't know if this is unique to this model or just, you know, the way I built it. His arm does not turn. It does not bend up and down. It bends outwards just fine, and the claw bends up and down. Not the arm itself, though. Very irritating, but that'll probably be our next big project. And then along with that, I also have as I mentioned before, the combat patrol for Dark Angels. And we'll be painting probably all of that. I'll do like a tutorial for each individual model, and then I'll do like a longer series just as like kind of a paint along with me kind of thing. Might be interesting. And there we are. I think that's actually kind of decent enough to consider done. We'll let them dry for a few more seconds. Again, if I had a very small kind of micro pen, we could write a name or something on there. I don't have one, and my handwriting's terrible, so we're not going to focus on that. I do have some proper Deathwing Knights, or actually I think they're Blade Guard, that come in the Combat Patrol, so we will be looking at them at some point if you don't like the kind of 3D proxy, but I think overall it's pretty decent. It's not a perfect print. There's definitely some spots that didn't come out quite as well as I wanted them to, but overall I think he's pretty decent. I'd play this on the tabletop any day. So there you are. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see more, I do have some new stuff kind of planned and upcoming, so stay tuned for that. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and otherwise, thank you guys very much, and I will see you hopefully in the next video.